Hi everyone. Today we're going to keep talking about time. We have talked about time to the hour, time to the half hour, and today we're going to talk about time to the quarter hour. Now, let's review. Let's go here. When our minute hand, the blue one, the blue long hand, is at the 12, we say o'clock. That is telling time to the hour. So right now it is 9 o'clock. When we write that, we write 900. And if we go around again, our minute hand is still at the top. So we say o'clock because it's time to the hour. And it is 10 o'clock. We know that. So remember we said if the minute hand, the blue hand, goes around 30 minutes, which is half of the clock, then we say half past. That means 30 minutes have gone by. So it is half past 10 because it has gone halfway around the clock, but it's still not 11. So half past 10. Here it is 11, yes. And if we go halfway around, now it is half past 11. That's what we did yesterday. Today we need to talk about the quarter hour. So let's pull out our vocabulary word. Okay. A quarter hour is 15 minutes, sometimes called quarter past or quarter till. 4 quarter hours equal 1 hour. So, what does that even mean? Let's go back here. Right here it is 12 o'clock, right? So, if you look at our clock, it is a circle, kind of like a pizza. We need to be able to cut our circle into 4 pieces, 4 quarters. Why do they say quarters? I believe it's kind of like a dollar. You have 4 quarters in a dollar, 4 quarters in our clock. So if we go halfway and we have a line here, the red one is not going to be perfectly with not a perfect straight line. So just pay attention to the blue. If we go straight down and we cut our clock in half, those are halves, right? That's when we say half past, or yeah, because those are half of a clock. But now if we cut it into another half going across, that would make 4 pieces of this circle. That would be a quarter. So here is half of that other circle, right? This is a half of the full circle, and this is half of that, which is a quarter. This piece right here is equal to 15 minutes. And we know that because if we count on our minute hand, the blue numbers, we count by 5. So each one of these little lines is equal to 1 minute. So we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But in order to count more quickly, we can count using the red numbers. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. And remember when we get to the 12, it is 60 minutes, but we go back to 0. So if we are here, those are 15 minutes. And that is a quarter past, like right now it's a quarter past 12. If we go like this. So here we know that it's 12 o'clock. And if we keep going 15 minutes, which is a quarter, that is a quarter past 12. because we have gone just a quarter of the 12. We haven't made it halfway to the 1, and we haven't made it to 1, just a quarter of it. Then, if we keep going to our next quarter, that's when we get 30 minutes, right? So that's 12:30. And our last quarter is at 45 in front of the 9. And that's when we know it is 12:45 if you write it on the digital clock. But another way to say that is to say a quarter till 1. Why do we say that? Why isn't it? It's a quarter past 12 if we go here. Let me go back. Right here, it's a quarter past 12. Here, it is 12:30. And here, it's a quarter till 1. Now, we do that because we are really close to the 1, and we only need 15 minutes. Remember, we count by 5s. 5, 10, 15. Oh, 5, 10, 15. So we're getting real close, but for some reason we say a quarter till. That means 15 minutes until the next hour. Because if we get here, now it is 1 o'clock. So if we needed 15 minutes until 1 o'clock, it was 12:45. I know it's a little bit complicated. So let's see. In order to show the quarter hours, there are 15 minutes and there are 4 quarter hours. So remember, our quarter hours are when we say o'clock, the blue hand needs to be on the 12. Our next quarter would be 15 on the number 3. And our next quarter would be 30, which is on the 6. And our last quarter is 45 on the number 9. Then we go back to 0. Did you see how that was 4 quarters? Remember, if we go like this is half. Here's another half. And so it turns into 4 pieces. And then in order to know what time it is, you always look at the red hour to get your hour, and then your minutes is the blue hand. So today on your work, you need to really pay attention to where your minute hand is, because it's not going to be in the same place every single time. Now both of your hands will be moving from quarter to quarter. So what should we do? Let's just do a little practice, right? So right now, what time is it? Let's take a quick look. Our minute hand is on the 12, and our hour hand, the red shorthand, is on the 2. So that would tell me it is 2 o'clock. So that's what it looks like on an analog clock. Minute hand on the 12 and a hour hand on the 2. That's 2 o'clock. How would that look on our digital clock? Let's see. So if you're writing it on the digital clock, you do not just put a 2. I don't know if you can see that. It's not just 2. Remember, we have to put our 2 zeros to say 2 o'clock. And then when you write it in the word form, I noticed some people are writing the word two, T-W-O, but you could also just put a 2. And that would be 2 o'clock. What we do not do is put the 2 with the colon and 2 zeros and make it look like the digital clock. That's only in the digital clock, but when you go into word form, you can write the word T-W-O, or you can write the number 2. Okay, that is our first quarter. Then, if our minute hand keeps moving to our first quarter, remember it's 5, 10, 15 minutes. A quarter is 15 minutes. Try to remember that. Because then if you forget, oh, what number was it on? You can think, okay, it's 15 minutes, so let me start at 0 and then count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, it was at the 3. So remember that a quarter hour is 15 minutes. So now, when you want to write 2:15 or a quarter past 2, you would put your hour hand a little bit past the 2, and you would put your minute hand right on the 3. Just like that. So right now, our time is either, you can say 2:15, because remember we just count by 5s, 5, 10, 15. Or another way to say that is a quarter past 2. Now, how would that look on our analog clock? On our digital clock. So now it's not 0 zeros, right? It's still 2 o'clock, but now it's 2:15. And now it's not 2 o'clock, it's a quarter past 2. Remember, the quarter is the 15 minutes past 2. So you're not going to write 2:15 when you put the word form. It's a quarter past 2. The quarter already means 15, so you don't have to put the 15 there. Next quarter. Remember, we did 15 minutes this way. Now we're going to do another 15 minutes for the next quarter, right? So we go 5, 10, 15. And that gets us 30 minutes. And we know 30 minutes is half of an hour, remember? So now what does our clock look like? It's right in the middle of 2 and 3 for our hour hand. And our minute hand is exactly on the 6. So in our digital clock, I'm sure you know how to do this because it's what we did yesterday. We are not having 2:15. Now it's 2:30. And it's not 2 o'clock. It's not quarter past 2. Now it's half past 2. Remember, half past means 30 minutes. Because how long is an hour? It is 60 minutes, right? And half of 60 is 30. Now, for our very last quarter, all we have to do is go another 15 minutes, because a quarter is 15 minutes, with our minute hand. And we know that our next quarter is on the 9:45 minutes, right? So let's count another quarter. 5, 10, 15. We are very, very close to the 3, but not yet there. So now it is 2, because we're still not all the way to the 3 o'clock, right? So it's still 2, and now our minute is 45. So in a digital clock, and you can say it's 2:45. But you can also say that it's a quarter till 3, because we only need one more quarter to get to 3. So it's just another way of saying it, and you will have to know how to do it in your work. So remember, there's 2 ways of saying it. You say it's 2:45, so 2 hours, 45 minutes, and you can also say that it's a quarter till 3. So let's see how we do that on our digital clock. It's no longer 2:30. Now it's 2:45. And now it's a quarter till. That means that we have 15 minutes until 3 o'clock. So now we're not putting 2, because there's not 15 minutes until 2. It's already way past 2. It's almost at the end of 2. So now it's quarter till, oh, and I did exactly what I said not to do. A quarter until 3. That might be the hard, tricky question. You have to remember that a quarter past 2, that means it has passed 2 o'clock. And now, see, first we were at 2 o'clock. Then we passed a quarter from 2 o'clock. Then we were halfway past 2 o'clock. And now all we need is one more quarter until 3 o'clock, which is 2:45. I hope that makes sense. You just have to practice it. So, on your work, you will just be seeing that your minute hands will no longer be on the 3 o'clock. They're not going to be on the 12. They might be on the 3 because that's a quarter past 3 o'clock. And I don't think... Oh, your minute hand might be on the 6, which we know is not a quarter past 3. That's half past 3 because we went halfway around the clock. We went a quarter around the clock when we went this way. But now we went halfway around the clock when we went this way. So that's half past 3. And if we go one more quarter to the 45, now it is 3:45, or it's a quarter till 4. Because we just need one more quarter till we get to the 4. And that's 4 o'clock. So, today we're talking about the quarter hour. And tomorrow we'll be talking about even less time. We're going to talk about 5 minutes. So, good luck in your homework. Let me know how it goes and have fun.